इसमें क्यों आ रहा है? गड़बड़ की है, ये गिफ्टर चप्पल नहीं होना चाहिए ना, इट शुड नॉट बी गिफ्टर चप्पल यार। नो मैन Sahil, can you hear me? Sahil, can you hear me? Okay, Sahil, I am just sending you the link on WhatsApp for other students. You are there, of course. It's but is it buffering, Sahil? Please confirm me with the text. Is it buffering? Okay, okay. Thank you, Sahil. But please confirm whether it's buffering. Good morning, Anushka. Good morning, Arpita. Good morning. Okay, it's not buffering now. Very good, very good. So let me. I think it's better, dear students, for me to continue from where we left, or I can start from the beginning, the poem Animal, because that day there was some disruption of the stream. Therefore, yeah, sometimes buffering. Sometimes buffering, dear students. I am Saibal. Good morning. So let me continue with where I ended. No, I'll just rewind my lesson because last time it was interrupted. Okay, so you can see here I am rewinding my lesson. So before that, I'll go with the theme first. Okay, go with the theme first. Yeah. Yeah, I understand, dear students, it's buffering sometimes because the net connectivity is very slow. Therefore, you've got to bear with me sometimes. What to do? Yes, Vinita, I understand it's buffering because net connectivity is very poor for the last 2 days. Not only today, for the last 2 days, the net connectivity is very poor. Therefore, you might have some problem in understanding the concept today as well. Yes, I understand it's buffering. I understand. From my end also it's buffering. So, what to do? Let's try for another few minutes and then might be we have to wind up. Let's see. Please stay connected for another few minutes. Let's find out. Dear students, you see, the poem Animal draws comparison between humans and animals. Unlike humans, animals do not complain and are always happy at their present state. So this poem is all about a comparison between human beings and animals. The poet means to say that animals are better than human beings in many ways. So in this poem, the poet has drawn a comparison between man and animals and tried to justify his claim that animals have better characteristics or better traits than human beings. Okay, so let me very quickly wrap up. The poem draws comparison between humans and animals. Animals do not complain and are always happy at their present state. And like humans, they do not commit sins and are very innocent and honest creatures. Animals possess all human virtues like honesty, truthfulness, etc., which humans once possessed long time ago. So, as I have told you, you might have understood the theme of the poem. Okay, so let's continue with stanza 1. Okay, let's continue with stanza 1. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. Okay, so the poet means to say that he thinks it's better for him to sort of live with animals. Why? Because they are so very much calm and quiet. Placid means calm and quiet, and they are self-contained. Self-contained means they are in full control of themselves. Understood? So the poet in this stanza means to say that he prefers the company of animals than human beings. Okay, and the reason that he has given is animals are very much calm and quiet and they are self-contained, means they are self-satisfied, they remain busy with themselves only, unlike human beings who are always busy in finding faults with others, who are always busy in looking into the affairs of others. Okay, so therefore human beings are more critical than animals. Therefore the poet wants to live in the company of animals so that he could have satisfaction, because animals are so placid and self-contained. So the animals, unlike human beings, are so calm and quiet and are in full control of themselves. They do not look into the matters of others like humans do. Humans always tend to interfere in the matters of others. As a result, human beings Okay, so now let me go to stanza 2. Stanza 2, dear students, you see, they do not sweat and whine. They here refers to the animals. Animals do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not sweat and whine refers to complain, you can say. Okay, complain. So unlike human beings, animals do not complain about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. Okay, so these are some of the good characteristics for which the poet has compared animals with humans and shown the difference actually. Like the animals, unlike human beings, they do not the animals do not complain like human beings. Understood? They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. It means human beings do lie awake and they weep for their sins because they commit many sins, and when they realize that they have committed sins, they tend to regret. Understood? Therefore, the poet says that animals do not indulge in such things. Animals do not indulge in any kind of regret. They do not indulge in any type of complaining. Okay. Therefore, animals are better than human beings. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Human beings devote some time discussing about religious matters. Okay. Even though they do not tend to practice what they preach, but still they tend to spend some time discussing about religious matters. But in the animal kingdom there is no such discussion about God, scriptures, etc. Okay. So the poet means to say that human beings are hypocrite in nature. Why they are hypocrite in nature? Because even though they spend considerable length of time discussing about the religious matters, but in reality they do not practice, okay, what they learn from religious talks. Therefore, there is a conflict. Okay, there is their practice doesn't match with their preaching. Okay, therefore human beings are hypocrite. That is what the poet means to say. That is why he has made reference of the phrase duty to God. Okay, human beings tend to indulge in religious talks, but when it comes to practicing what they've learned from religious talks, they are not following what they have learned. Therefore, they are hypocrites. So you can see here, animals do not make complaints and cry about their condition. Stanza 2. Okay. Thanks. When it will buffer, I shall stop explaining. Okay. So now there is no buffering, so I'll explain you stanza 2. Dear students, you see, they do not sweat and whine. They here refers to animals. Animals do not sweat and whine. It means animals do not complain. Understood? About their condition. Okay. Like human beings. Okay. Human beings do complain about their condition. They are complaining in nature, whereas animals are not complaining in nature. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. Animals do not commit sins and they do not regret over the fact that they have committed sins. Human beings do commit sins, and then later on when they realize, they tend to regret. Therefore, these are the two differences which the poet in the very first four lines have explained to us. First he said animals do not complain like human beings, okay, do about their condition, and number two, animals do not lie awake in the dark, okay, at night and keep regretting about the sins that they have committed, because animals do not commit any sins. They don't have any realization of what is sin, what is not sin. Therefore, they do not have any regret. Whereas human beings commit sins, and then when they realize that they have committed sins, they tend to regret. So these are the two differences between humans and animals. And then last two lines you see of stanza 2, they do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Okay, humans get involved in the discussion of religious talks. Okay, whereas animals do not have such business. Okay, they do not discuss about God. They do not have such they do not feel bad, or they do not get tired discussing about God. Human beings, on the other hand, discuss about the religion. They discuss about religious matters. Okay, but in reality, they commit sins and then regret over their sins. Understood? So here human beings are found to be hypocrite in nature. In this line, they do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. The poet means to say that human beings, even though they turn to God, but they are hypocrite by nature. Okay, they are hypocrite by nature. Why? Because on the one hand they are involved in religious discussions, on the other hand they commit sins, therefore they are hypocrite by nature. Okay. uh, Okay, dear students, now the buffering has stopped a little bit, so let me continue. Stanza 3. No one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Okay, so first two lines, let me explain you. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented. It means no animal is dissatisfied with themselves. Okay. Like human beings, okay, human beings are very much dissatisfied with themselves. On the other hand, animals are not dissatisfied with themselves. Okay, so this is another difference the poet has established here. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented. Demented means get crazy about. Okay, get crazy about is called demented. Not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Dear students, human beings have a tendency to human beings have the desire or craze for owning more and more things, whereas animals do not have such desire. Therefore, there are two differences given here in stanza 2 to begin with. First is, no animal is dissatisfied with their state of existence, number one. Number two, like human beings, animals are not driven by the craze to own more and more things. Human beings require more and more things. They tend to tend to possess more and more things. Okay, if they purchase something today, they tend to purchase something else tomorrow, something else the day after. So human beings have the craze for owning more and more things. Okay, which is considered to be a vice. It's not a virtue, it's a vice. Okay, therefore but in the animal kingdom there is no such craze for owning things. Okay, they are very much satisfied with the fact that they are eating and they are sleeping. If they get their fine share of food, then they are happy. Okay, therefore they are content with the basic things. Okay, metaphorically speaking, you can say they are pretty much satisfied with the very basic things of life, whereas human beings are not satisfied with the basic things of life. Understood? So next, let us continue for next few lines. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Understood? Not one kneels to another means in the animal kingdom, nobody kneels or nobody kneels down. Nobody kneels down to one another. Okay, they do not bow to one another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Okay, so like they have no sense of excessive respect. Okay, what human beings tend to sometimes flaunt or show off. Okay. So the poet says that animals also do not have any tradition of kneeling down to their superiors, okay, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Okay, they do not have any tradition of kneeling down to even to their predecessors. Understood? Whereas human beings have the tendency to unnecessarily flaunt their respect for others. Okay, they tend to kneel down in front of others. They they tend to show their some too much of loyalty to others. Okay, which is not always necessary. Okay, the loyalty should be inside you. Okay, that should not be always necessarily demonstrated to others. I am loyal to you. Understood? So human beings have such nature. Okay, nature of being unnecessarily respectful to their elders by kneeling down to them, whereas animals do not have any hierarchical pride. Therefore they do not kneel down. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. Okay, so not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. Not a single animal you can find who is showing unnecessary respect, number one, and number two, unhappy about what is happening around them. Whereas human beings, okay, tend to show too much of unnecessary respect. They kneel down unnecessarily in front of other human beings, okay, their elders, their superiors and all that, and as well as human beings are always unhappy over what is happening around them. Okay, they are always dissatisfied. Okay, so these are also some of the basic differences between animals and human beings. Understood? That is the reason as to why the poet wants to spend his spend his time in the company of animals. The poet tends to or desires to spare his time in the company of animals. He prefers the company of animals to the company of human beings. Okay, this is the exact reason. These are the exact reasons for which he tends to spare his valuable time in the company of animals, not with human beings. So let me now. Okay, once again it seems it's buffering. Okay. Okay, now there's no buffering. So let me quickly recap what I have just told you. The desire to own things by human beings has been called madness by the poet. Animals, unlike humans, are never dissatisfied and has no madness about possessing material things. Animals do not kneel down to other animals as they have no sense of hierarchical pride. As all animals are self-contained and equal, there is no question of respect to some and insult to others. Therefore, dear students, they are never unhappy like human beings. Okay, this is the crux of this stanza. Okay, all animals are self-contained and equal. There is no question of insult to others. Therefore, they are never unhappy like human beings. Okay, so now let me continue to stanza 4. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. Okay, so they here refers to, once again I tell you, it is animals. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. Okay, it means that animals seem to have what humans once had, like virtues, virtues like kindness, self-containment and innocence. Okay, so they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself, they evince them plainly in their possession. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? Okay, so it means animals show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens. Tokens dear here refers to, dear students, good qualities. Okay, they bring me tokens of myself. They bring me tokens of myself. It means they display good qualities. Okay, which once upon a time human beings used to possess. Okay, so they bring me tokens of myself, them plainly in their possession. In their possession means animals are having such innate virtues, okay, like kindness, self-containment, innocence. Understood? They have in them by default. So this is what is called possession. In their possessions means they have innate virtues like self-containment, innocence, kindness, etc., which human beings once upon a time used to possess. Understood? Nowadays those virtues like kindness, charity, self-containment, innocence, these virtues have taken leave of human beings now, okay? Or human beings have taken leave of such virtues nowadays. Understood? Why? Because with the passage of time humans have become very much mechanical. They have lost contact with human being companion, okay, in comparison to humans. We tend to spend, in face-to-face mode, okay, we tend to spend more time on virtual mode. Understood? Therefore, as time passed on and on and on, self-centered, as a result, the innate virtues which are supposed to be with human beings have taken leave of human beings. Understood? But once upon a time, human beings used to have such virtues which animals are having inherent in them, okay, always. Therefore the poet says, they bring me tokens of myself, they evince them plainly in their possession. I wonder where they get those tokens from. Okay, did I pass that way huge times ago? Means he means to say that human animals got such virtues from human beings. Okay, so the poet means, did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? The poet means to say that the poet is questioning. So is it I means is it I refers to the entire humanity, actually entire human beings. Okay, so the poet means to say that did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? It means whether human beings past such virtues like kindness, self-contentment and innocence to animals long time ago, okay, and negligently dropped them. Understood? So the poet means to say that animals have taken hold of such virtues from humans only long time ago, when human beings were having such virtues. So animals might have inherited such virtues from human beings long time ago, because long time ago human beings were having such virtues inherent in them. So whenever human beings were having such virtues inherent in them, at that time animals have taken such virtues from human beings, imitated such virtues and inherited such virtues from human beings. This is what the poet means to say here. Okay, so let us revise what I have just spoken to you. Animals seem to have what humans once had, virtues like kindness, self-containment and innocence. Animals possess those qualities what humans possessed long time ago. Okay, long time ago. Okay, then you see the poet wonders that humans gave up these qualities and they have been passed on to animals. Okay, the poet is surprised. The poet is very much surprised at the fact that human beings gave up those qualities, those virtuous qualities like kindness, self-containment and innocence, charity and so on, and they have been passed on to the animals. Understood? They have been passed on to the animals. So at last the poet introspects himself and wonders whether animals picked up those human virtues when he dropped them carelessly long time ago. Understood? As human beings used to possess such virtues long time ago, so animals might have imitated such virtues from human beings long time ago. Understood? Here, when see last second line, the poet says, did I pass? I here refers to the entire humanity, not the poet alone. Human beings as a class, human beings as a race are referred to here, okay, by the word word I. Understood? So that's all about stanza 4. Why I've repeated several times. That's all about the poem as well. So if you have any doubt from whatever I have taught you so far, if you have your textbook open in front of you, you can ask me if you have any doubt from any of the words, phrases, concepts, sentence, whatever doubt you have, till whatever I have spoken to you, you can text me. You can text me. Dear students, if you have any doubt, you can text me. If you have any doubt, you can text me. Any of the stanzas, you have any doubt, you can text me. I can respond to you quickly. Okay, you can just text me quickly so that I can respond to you. So dear students, shall I continue with my explanation of literary devices, or you shall ask me any question? If you have any question, quickly ask me. Vinita, are you there, or you have taken leave of the live session? Okay, Sania. Sins means some bad works that we are indulged into. Human beings indulge in some kind of bad works. Okay, committing sins means human beings get involved into some kind of activities which they are not supposed to be indulged in. Okay, demented means very crazed, means satisfied, you can say. Okay, satisfied. Demented means satisfied. No one is demented, means no human being is satisfied. Okay, no human being is satisfied. They want more and more. They have the craze for owning more and more things. Okay, unlike animals which do not have any desire to own more and more things and which always remain self-satisfied. Okay, so unlike human beings, animals are always self-satisfied. This is what is demented means. And sins means something like jealousy is a sin, like if you tend to cause harms to others, this is a sin. Understood? If you think something bad, this is a sin. Okay. In short, sin is something what you are not supposed to do as a human being. Okay. What is considered to be something which you are not supposed to do. That is what is sins all about. Like greed, like jealousy, like causing harms to others, like speaking ill of others. Okay. Killing others. Okay, beating others. These things are all considered to be sins actually. Understood? So any other query any one of you have, so that I can respond immediately? Okay, so now let's move on to literary devices. Literary devices, dear students, you see here the first literary device is anaphora. Anaphora means use of repeated words. Okay, I'll tell you. Let the screen first come. Let the slide come onto your screen first, and then I shall explain you literary devices now. Okay, I'll explain you literary devices used in the poem. Okay, so first literary device is anaphora. Anaphora means use of repeated words at the beginning of two or more consecutive lines. That is use of they do not. Okay, so use of repeated words at the beginning of two or more consecutive lines. Okay, like use of here in the context of the poem. If you have the textbook, you can check right now. Okay, see at the beginning of every line, okay, two or more consecutive lines, you will find the expressions they do not. They here refers to animals. So when the poet has repeated 2 times or 3 times, okay, the same expression they do not, this is called anaphora. This is a figure of speech which is called anaphora. Okay. Then let us move on to the figure of speech called metaphor. Sweat and wine refers to cries and complaints of human beings. Okay, so the words sweat and wine are used metaphorically in the poem. The inner qualities of humans are referred to as tokens. The inner qualities of humans are referred to as tokens. Understood? So this is also the use of the word tokens here is also metaphor. Okay, so dear students, let me tell you, metaphors are not only comparison. Metaphors are also use of certain words in special context where they are normally used. Understood? Like say token. Token is not used normally in the sense of in the sense of showing qualities. Understood? But here the poet has made a special use in the special context. He has used the word tokens. Therefore tokens here is metaphor. So metaphor is not only comparison of two similar or dissimilar things or persons. Metaphor is also about applying certain words in some special context in which normally they are not used. Understood? So if a poet uses a particular word in a particular context, okay, which is normally not used for in such situation, okay, we can say that the word is metaphorically used. Understood? This is the metaphorical use of the word. Okay, if a word is used in special context, not in the usual context in which these words are normally used. This is called metaphor. So sweat and wine refer to cries and complaints. Sweat is used for some other purpose. You might be knowing sweating and all that. whining, these are used in different context, but here the poet has used sweat and wine in the context of the complaints made by human beings. Understood? That is why they are metaphorically used. Now let's move on to the next figure of speech, which is repetition. Repetition here, they do not sweat, no, not one is dissatisfied. So repetition of the word here, they do not sweat, no one is dissatisfied. So this is the example of repetition. These two expressions, they do not sweat and not one is dissatisfied, these two expressions are repeated several times in the course of the poem, therefore they are figures of speech called, or literary devices called, repetition. Okay, now alliteration you might be knowing, dear students. Alliteration means repetition of consonant words in successive or near successive words. Okay, consonant sounds only, not vowel sounds, consonant sounds. So repetition of consonant sounds in successive or near successive words is called alliteration. Like, they do not make me see, you see here, make, am, repetition of the consonant sound am and am here. Okay, this is the example of alliteration. So hopefully, dear students, you are able to understand the literary devices used in the poem. So if you have any doubt from literary devices, you can ask me. I shall respond to you quickly. Okay. Okay, so let me continue, dear students, with the recapitulation. Recapitulation once again. So I am just going to recapitulate before I wind up my lecture today. Oh yes, so let me continue, let me just wind up quickly. The poem draws comparison between humans and animals. Okay, animals do not complain and are always happy at their present state. Okay, so dear students, this is what is the poem all about. Okay, human beings never become dissatisfied. Okay, the poet has shown different types of examples of comparisons to establish the fact that animals are better than human beings. In this poem he has shown different instances, okay, in 4 different stanzas, and established the fact that animals are better than human beings because human beings have some negative traits, like human beings are never satisfied. Number 2, human beings always complain. Number 3, human beings indulge in religious talks, but they do not practice what they preach. Okay, whatever they get from whatever lesson they get from religious discussions, they do not implement those concepts, okay, in their everyday life. Okay, in spite of being involved in religious matters, they indulge in certain sins, they commit sins. Okay, therefore they are hypocrite by nature. Okay, they do not appear to be what they are. Hypocrite means a person who is not what he appears to be. Okay, from outside he can be called hypocrite. So human beings can be called hypocrites because they do not practice what they have been preached. Okay, then some more qualities the poet has shown in this poem of animals, okay, which are better than human beings. Okay, like human beings do not have taken leave of the basic human virtues, okay, which are like kindness, then innocence, okay, charity. Okay, these are some of the basic virtues that human beings are supposed to have, but they have taken leave. Human beings have taken leave of such virtues, and they are found to be now self-centered, selfish. Okay, they do not like other fellows. So human beings have taken leave of their virtues, and they have all their values have become eroded with the passing of time. But the same human race used to possess such virtues long time ago. Okay. And from long time ago, from where animals have picked up such virtues from human beings, and they tend to be showing these virtues in their day-to-day life, whereas human beings are not showing such virtues, okay, in their day-to-day life. Therefore, animals are much better than human beings. So that's all about this poem, dear students. You might have understood. And moreover, I have a concept video, dear students. I have a concept video on this poem. So you can I'll send you the link. You can see the concept video I have made on this poem. So dear students, please keep updating your lesson notes and make PDF of all your lesson notes, and please upload on my website in the library section. Okay, so do update your lesson notes and keep sending me one PDF for one lesson. Remember, one PDF for one lesson. Okay, so animals I am going to upload today, but till what I have taught you in the last two classes, you please update the notes of such lessons, and I am going to upload animals probably this evening. As soon as I upload, I shall certainly send you the links on WhatsApp, but you do not keep your lesson notes pending, because if you keep it pending, then it will be difficult for you to make up afterwards. Okay, now that you have plenty of time, you please keep updating lesson notes of all the subjects, not only English, all the subjects, and keep sending to teachers. Okay, but about my subject, as I told you, you've got to make a PDF of all your lesson notes, one PDF for one lesson. Understood?